We're going to be going over note card 44, which is graphing f when given f prime. So we're going to be going backwards as to what we were doing last time with note card 43. So instead of being given f of x first, we're going to graph f of x from f prime. So we kind of have to change our way of thinking. So here are some key points, okay? So whenever your derivative is equal to 0, what you need to remember is that a max or a min or horizontal tangent occurs on the original. So this is a key point. So you look for whenever you cross the x-axis, so you look for all your x-intercepts on your f prime, and then that means that's going to be a max, min, or horizontal tangent on the original function, okay? If the y values around the roots change from positive, negative, that means that it's going to be a max. If it changes from negative to positive, look, so this is what's happening. So if you have your f prime, and you know that on your derivative, you have an x-intercept here, so and it changes from positive to negative, that means you're going up to down. So that means you have a max. And vice versa means you have a min. If it doesn't change sign, like for instance, plus plus or minus minus, that means you just have a horizontal tangent at that point, okay? So also here it says if the first derivative is greater than 0 or above the x-axis, that means that the original is increasing. So that means since this is describing the slope, and it's greater than 0 or it's above the x-axis, that means that it's going to be increasing for this graph. And then vice versa for if it's less than 0, it's decreasing, okay? If you take the slopes of the derivative, okay, so think about this, slope of f prime. So what's the slope of f prime? F double prime. So if the slope of f double prime, in other words, if the second derivative is, will determine the concavity, okay? Also, max and mins, f prime of x are point of inflection. So if you have a max and min on the derivative, that means it's going to be a point of inflection for the f, okay? So let's go ahead and start analyzing this little by little. So here we're talking about, we're going to look at all your x-intercepts first. So we have 1, 2, 3, okay? And on these x-intercepts, we're either going to have a max, min, or horizontal tangent. So if you look at negative 2, to the left of negative 2, we're above the x-axis, meaning we're positive. So we're going up on the original graph. This is the derivative. So that means we're going to go up, and then to the right, it's below, so we're going to go down. So up to down means we have a max. So I'm going to put my dot anywhere above here, okay? So that's going to be a max point. Here's another one. So that's going to be an x-intercept, but here's the thing, is that to the left of it's negative, and to the right of it's negative because they're both below the x-axis. So it's kind of like this example. All it is just a horizontal tangent. So here, I could put my dot here, I could put a little here, but I'm just going to leave it here, okay? That's going to be my dot there. All right, here, we have another x-intercept, and we're less than 0, so that means that's going to be going down, and then we're above, so it's going to be going up. So that means we have a maximum there. a minimum. So since we're going negative to positive, that means it's going to be a minimum, okay? All right, so now also what we have here is that we have, anytime we have a max or min, that means that there are going to be points of inflection there. So I'm going to have a point of inflection between these two at exactly this x value. So I'm going to put them between so I can change concavity there. Also here, I'm going to change concavity here, and it turns out that this point here is also a change in concavity. It's not just a horizontal tangent, okay? So let's start from left to right. To the left of this point, I know that I'm above the x-axis, so that means I'm going to be increasing. I'm going to be increasing to this point, okay? But not only that, I know it's concave down because this is decreasing, okay? So it's going up because it's above the x-axis, and it's concave down because it's decreasing, okay? We're still decreasing, but this time I'm still going to be concave down, okay? So this is a point of inflection. So from here to here, I'm going to be concave up, still decreasing because it's below the x-axis. From here to here, I'm going to be switching side. This is going to be changing concavity. That's a point of inflection as well. I'm still decreasing. And here, I'm going to be decreasing still, but I'm changing concavity, and I'm going to come all the way back up, okay? So this is the graph of this function here. And it makes sense. Look, from here to here, aren't I decreasing? Yes. So that means because this is underneath the x-axis, that means I'm decreasing. I'm increasing here because this is above the x-axis. I'm increasing here because this is above the x-axis. All right, so that's that graph here. All right, Let's start analyzing this one. So here, that's either a max or min. Let's take a look at the x-intercept. To the left, I'm below, so that means I'm decreasing. To the right, I'm above, so that means I'm increasing. So I'm going to have a minimum somewhere here. So I'm going to put a dot here. I have a minimum here, which means I'm going to have a point of inflection. So I'm going to put my point of inflection above it since I know this is a minimum. Okay, it can be anywhere along this line. And I also have another point of inflection here because that's a max. And I'm going to put it somewhere here. Okay. All right. So what we can start doing is start graphing it. Notice how this is all underneath the x-axis. So that means anywhere from to the left of this point is going to be coming down. And I'm increasing. That means I'm concave what? Concave up. Since I'm increasing here, I'm concave up. So from this point to this point, I am concave up. Okay? Concave up. After this point, I'm still going down, but I'm decreasing, so I'm concave down. I'm still beneath the x-axis, but this time I'm concave up. Okay? And then now I'm going to be increasing because I'm above the x-axis after that point. Okay? So that's my graph right there.